Hi YouTube, this is VidHead85 and today I think I want to talk about, I'm actually going to make a three-part video. This will be the first part. This will be being black in America. The next one to follow will be being gay in America, and then it will be being black and gay in America. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Basically, being black in America, we don't have to go far to see discrimination, such as Trayvonn Martin case. I was gonna say O.J. Simpson trial, but we see Rodney King every single day. We see and hear about individuals who have been wronged by the Justice Department, by the policemen, and many times it is on the basis of race. A lot of times, when people say tough on crime, they really mean tough on minorities, and it's really terrible now that people will like in Arizona. People will they'll racially profile a lot of Latino areas so that they can arrest as many Latino individuals and then make an effort to deport them if they're found to be here in the country undocumented. I don't want to say illegally, but while they are in the country illegally, they're undocumented persons. I don't think that a person is illegal. So anyway, even though we didn't choose to be here in America, but once we were here, we were used for slave labor, and the Tea Party would like to remove any references of the human rights abuses of slavery times. But after the Civil War, many black men and women wanted to be educated, and therefore there had to be segregated facilities for educational purposes rather. And there would be 6 times more money paid into white schools than into black schools. And I'm not even going to lie, we see the same thing today. We see that in the suburbs there's way more money and there's higher tech facilities in suburban schools or areas that are considered to be predominantly white. And in inner city schools, they're still struggling to make the computers work. So basically, being black in America, even though a lot of people are saying, "Oh, let's not try that again," the fact is, in order to address the racism in America, we have to go where it starts. We have to go into the cities. We have to go We have to take an honest assessment at not only race, but we also have to take an honest assessment at society at large. We have to take an honest assessment of the living conditions. We have to take an honest assessment of the economical conditions, which play into these social conditions. A lot of times when I talk about social justice, I don't only talk about social justice, I talk about economic justice in that framework, because of the fact that if we are going to deal with jobs on the economic level, we have to make sure that once we have those jobs, that they're given to the best qualified candidates. And how are we going to have the best qualified candidates if they are not educated? So that plays into schooling and education. Being a black man, I am HIV negative, and that is, I've already beat a deadly statistic there because, well, I'm talking about being black in America. I've also have not been arrested. At one time, but I was charged as a youthful offender, and I had to do community service, and I have not been back as an adult. So I basically dodged that bullet because of my age. But I haven't been back in prison because of the simple fact that, I don't want to do anything to get myself back there. Another statistic that I beat is, well, I'm not a father, but I'm gay, so that kind of doesn't exactly exempt me, because there are a lot of gay individuals who may have had unprotected sex with women in order to say that they're not gay anymore, and then they become a father. But, black men are supposed to have a litter of baby mamas, which is a huge stereotype. But that's a statistic that I've also beaten. There are so many statistics that many black men out here have beaten, and they don't know how great they are. There are many people have beaten statistics, and I will admit I will also say the same for Hispanic men too. There are many people like who are Hispanic in my same situation, and are educated and want to make a difference in their communities. So, being black in America, it is where everything seems to be stacked against you. But somehow, if you are able to beat that odds, if you are able to overcome those odds, then people look at you differently because of the simple fact that you have beaten those statistics. Now, the other part about it is, though, that, I understand, we have to understand it's institutionalized racism. Like, on every level, there is racism. Like, we can, even with people talking about affirmative action, I remember there was a young white kid who asked me, or actually he was actually a freshman in college, and so was I. He said, what would you do if you found out that the only reason you got into a college was because you're black? And I kind of paused and I answered, well, I would like to think that my credentials spoke for me. But also, later on, years later, I began thinking, is this a school that I want, first of all? And do I really care how I got into the school, as long as it's a school that I wanted? Now, people may say that has an unfair advantage. People make life unfair. It's not life that's unfair, it's people that make life unfair. And we are born equal. However, lawmakers make policies that make us unequal. So we have to start with the law. That is one of the biggest reasons why I really need to get my ass into law school, because of the simple fact that I am tired of injustice against not only black men but also others. I am sick of injustice, and especially when race enters the picture. We get a lot of people who are, especially well-meaning, some well-meaning individuals who are not black or who are white, saying, why are you always playing the race card? Well, the problem is, most white individuals may have experienced racism, but they have not experienced it to the point that a black or Hispanic or person of color has experienced it. Maybe they have experienced it from a person of color, but they do not experience, by and large, racism on the same level or worse than black and other people of color have. So, we gotta vote. I keep bringing up voting because of the fact that they're afraid of us, and they're passing voter ID laws so that we can stay away from the polls. Every time there is an election, they want us to stay home, because otherwise they will make the majority. We have to do this. That is what we have to do, is vote. Get out the vote. Where you need ID, get ID. Where you don't need ID, start registering. So anyway, being black in America is no easy task, okay? It is something where it's almost like everything, the cards are stacked against you. But we have to play those cards in a way where we can actually turn the tide for other young black men growing up, and other young Hispanic men, and other young people of color, so that we can finally, get what is ours. But not only get what is ours, but maintain what is ours. And I think with economic justice there, we need financial literacy with that. Because if people don't know about how to use and save money and spend money the right way, then that is one overall piece of the pie that keeps us poor. So YouTube, black men, other black men out there, other black YouTubers out there, what are some experiences you've had, positive and negative, that flowed from being black in America? I have to say that some of them have been. Sometimes I really wonder about some some white gay men who make no mistake that they're into black men, and it's kind of like, well, you know what? I don't mind that you're into black men, but you say it in a way where it's like fetishizing me. So, that's another aspect of it. But part 2 is being gay in America. Thank you, YouTube. Rate, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.